up? Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. So for today's video, we're going to talk about honoring our ancestors. Why would you want to do that? Who your ancestors are, and then just a couple things that you can do to honor them. First and foremost, I just need to say though, it's like 12 o'clock here. I'm tired as fuck. So if I start getting a little delirious, saying some crazy stuff, disregard it. I apologize. Anyway, so let's get into it. Who are your ancestors? So in my opinion, your ancestors are anyone of blood relation, anyone in your bloodline. There are some people who like to think that their pets and their animals are their ancestors. Some people don't think that their cousins or people who aren't in their immediate family are their ancestors, but I personally like to believe that anyone that I share blood relation with is my ancestor. I don't personally like to look at animals as my ancestors. If anything, I would probably see them as like an animal guide or like a spirit guide or something like that. But I don't know. I just personally don't really see like animals as being a guide or like an ancestor to me. But you know, there's just a lot of different ways that people like to see their ancestors. It depends on your religion and just your beliefs. So why would you want to honor your ancestors? So for me as a Black woman, like I am so extremely grateful and just honored to even be a Black woman. You know, our ancestors went through so much during slavery, and just we really overcame a lot of stuff. So I think my ancestors deserve a big old like honoring fest of just showing them love and appreciation. Like I personally would not be here if it wasn't for my ancestors, and if it wasn't for a lot of the Black people that fought for like just racism and just a lot of fucked up shit that was going on back in the day, I personally wouldn't have this world to live in right now. So I'm so grateful for my ancestors. I love my ancestors, and I always want to show gratitude to them and honor them. Not only did they help pave the way for me now, but they are still helping me in my everyday life. I pray to my ancestors all the time. They help me, they guide me, they tell me about things that are happening before they even happen, and they guide me through a lot of tough situations that I go through in my life. So I will always continue to honor my ancestors and just show gratitude for just them paving the way for me in the past, and also just being here for me in the future and in the present. So that is why I personally like to honor my ancestors. And a couple ways that I like to do this is I love to sit at my altar. And when I sit at my altar, I mean, there's so many different things that you can do at your altar. You can do like different like spells and rituals. You can sit at your altar and honor your ancestors by just talking to them and communicating with them and creating a bond. You can give them offerings, give them food. So some people say that when you give your ancestors offerings, it needs to be a home cooked meal. I've heard that a lot. Now, I personally, I don't mind like cooking for my ancestors and stuff like that, but lately I haven't been cooking as much. So I sat at my altar and I asked my ancestors what it is that they liked, what it is that they want. And a lot of things popped in my head, like from like grapes to pomegranates to bananas. Y'all, I even heard a double bacon cheeseburger from McDonald's. Like I've literally heard everything. So spirituality is spirituality. You honor your ancestors in the way that you see fit, and then also too, you honor your ancestors by giving them the things that they like, by playing music for them. Like if your ancestor liked Tupac when they were alive, play Tupac. If they liked Erykah Badu, play a little bit of Erykah. You know what I mean? So honoring your ancestors, it doesn't have to be this huge extravagant thing. It literally can just be you sitting there showing so much gratitude to your ancestors, and they would appreciate that a lot more than you doing some big fancy ritual but your heart really isn't into it. So I like to sit at my altar and just do whatever I feel called to do. That's my altar for me to really just connect with my ancestors. So I sit there and I give them offerings, I talk to them, I sing with them, I cry with them, I ask them for advice. Another way to honor your ancestors is to actually listen to them and to take their advice. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, every single time that your ancestors tell you to do something that you should do it. If you feel like you don't want to do it, that's completely up to you of how you want to go about that. But actually listening to your ancestors is going to help honor them and also strengthen the connection with them. If you got somebody in your life and if you're always giving them like advice and you're telling them certain things and they never listen to you, eventually you're going to get to a point where it's like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to give you advice. Like, you're not listening to me. You're not doing what it is that you need to do. So you're going to weaken that connection and you're not going to create a good bond with them. So just listen to them. Show them respect too. You know, don't come to your ancestors with any disrespect, like, you know, calling them out of their name or just coming at them with any aggression or any anger or anything like that, because your ancestors are there to help you. You know, they're here to guide you and to protect you. So you always want to talk to your ancestors with love and with respect and with the highest regard, okay? Another thing that I like to do is I like to do different rituals to honor my ancestors. So I like to play like tribal beats, or I'll play like frequency music. I'll meditate with my ancestors to create like a safe space for them to connect with me there. I also like to, during this ritual, you know, I meditate, I burn my sage, I dance, I talk to them, I write and I script. You know, I just create an open space for me to just completely honor them. During this ritual, I may give offerings, I may not. So, I mean, there's so many different ways that you can honor your ancestors. Like I said, it's really up to you and how you see fit. One of my suggestions that I would give you is to sit with your ancestors and actually talk to them and see how they like to be honored. Talk to them and just, you know, ask them, what do you like? What do you want? Because the thing that you have to remember is when you honor your ancestors, you're not honoring, I mean, of course you're honoring yourself by honoring your ancestors, but what I mean is you don't want to give them things that you want. You want to give them things that they want. So, you know, don't just, oh, well, I like bananas, so I'm going to give them bananas. No, do they like bananas? Talk to them, you know, open up a safe space for them. Also, you know, burning different ancestral money. You know, you can burn candles in honor of your ancestors. You can burn a white candle. Me personally, last week or a couple of days ago, I burned a green candle, a green prosperity candle, and I burned it for me and my ancestors so that we both can be prosperous. You know, because one thing that you have to realize is that, you know, no one really knows what happens when we die. Like, literally no one knows. And the fact that we still have this connection, who's to say that they don't have this whole other world going on over there? So, you know, just like I'm prospered, when I prosper, my ancestors prosper. And when my ancestors prosper, so do I. So I like to light candles, and I set the intention for me and my ancestors to both prosper and to grow. So I did that. But make sure that when you are honoring your ancestors, just do things that you both like. So this is a very quick video. I didn't want it to be crazy long. So if you have any additional questions or anything, just let me know in the comment section down below and I will get back to you. So make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you stay updated when I post future videos, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.